past that way through that doorway down there. If I may get through. There's 22 kilometres of tunnel just in this section here that goes out over there and round there. That goes round in a great big loop, that tunnel, where they've mined off to the sun side and then they've packed the walls back in.
Come, I'll carry you. Come. Then do it. This is shorter. See, that's what he was telling.
This is my face off.
Okay. Let's go. That's where we came from. Like a sitting.
Mining administration was very hierarchical, very English model of management. There was many levels of administration. But from the workers who were down here, the next level. How we going, Joe? They're still with you? We've still got the little one?
Yep, we're all here. Thank you very much for this.
Now, the bottom level, there was several different groups of workers were down here. The next level up was the deputy. I don't know who. This is the deputy. This was his office. If you want to go into administration, you know, this is your supervisor's office. He had several really important roles. His first one was safety. And the first part of his safety thing was gas. When you dig a hole in coal, you'll get methane. That's called fire damp. Now, when they blow the front, when they blow the surface, if they have to blow it, there's quite often a sudden release of if they pick it off the wall, it just comes off slowly. But because it's lighter than air, it'll build up there. So if they blow the face, which is 3 or 4 or 6 chain down there, you could easily, and ignite, you get a blue flame run across the ceiling. Now that's the gas burning off. Now if you had a huge amount of gas at the face, you get two byproducts. One's carbon dioxide and one is carbon monoxide, which means that when it burnt initially there wasn't enough oxygen for it to grab the second atom to become CO2. Now the problem with that is that carbon monoxide is highly unstable. Is that it run around looking for another oxygen atom, but when you breathe it in, it grabs your red corpuscle in your blood and won't let go. Right? Now, carbon dioxide you can breathe in and breathe out because that's what we were designed to breathe oxygen in and breathe out carbon dioxide. So that freely comes away, but carbon monoxide grabs the red corpuscle and suffocates you. Now, we're getting instances of today with gas heaters. But it's just a slower thing, but it happens quite quickly. Yeah? If you get a full burst of it, you just feel really drowsy and you sit down and you go to sleep and that's it. You just suffocate. You don't know you're doing it. So that's really important that they kept control of how much gas there was, how much fire damp, the methane, and how they were clearing the bad, what they call after damp or black damp out. Now the first thing they used, they could test for this. This is a Davy safety lamp. It was invented in Wales, and the top is full of gauze. So there's a light there. There's a burning lamp that's burning on oil. It's about a diesel-y type of fuel oil, but no flame touches the outside because it's full of gauze, right? So it won't explode. But if you put it up there and there's methane there, it gets a very bright, long flame. You put it down there because carbon dioxide is heavier than air, and it'll go to a really dull blue flame, right? Then, you take this fella. Now, this bloke's quite healthy. He's still sitting on his perch. Put him down there, and he'll fall off his perch, right? Because he's more sensitive to it than we are, right? and he up there he wouldn't like it at all because that's the fire dam, right? So now there was that the deputy's job was to check with these all the time. There was people at the main face that had those. You couldn't tamper them with them. Where we walked in to get our hats was the lamp room. They were filled and lit at the start of every shift by the lamp man, not the miners, and handed to them locked. And there's enough oil in there to run an 8-hour shift. And if it ran out or went out somehow, it had to be sent to the service and get another one. They weren't allowed to fiddle with it at all, because otherwise they might doctor around with it, right? The next thing was, his job was to check that the timbering was done properly. Now the men were paid on contract per tonne of coal, so people get hungry, people get careless, they get too far in front of their timber, and the roof is likely to fall in, right? Because this mine was known to have slightly loose blocks in the ceiling. The other thing that happened was the floor used to heave up overnight. They used to run 2 shifts of coal, working on the coal. The day shift and afternoon shift were hewing shifts, like cutting coal, and the night shift, that is from midnight to 8, was called the maintenance, was the dog watch, and they did the maintenance. They checked the timber, they made sure there was timber available to the men at the face, right? So this man supervised the contract miners, the wheelers, the men who had the empty and the full skips with the pony. The wheelers ran the ponies. The clippers took them from the wheelers and took them off the ponies and put them onto the endless ropes. That was the first job you did down here, was clipping, right? To be a wheeler, you had to be a bit stronger to be a wheeler, because they pushed the skips around more at the face. Then you had your pumpers, right? You had to make sure the pumpers were doing their job, and you had to make sure the air was coming through. If the face was a long way away from the thing, there would be a pipe that run down there. It would run down the main thing to it, and then it would be split, and it would be sucked down backwards. But the good air had to get to the face to clear the face, right? So that was his job, was that, the safety, supervising the men. He filled out a shift sheet every time, a report every day on what he'd done and what was done, what the air was. He filled out a sheet to say how long men were on the coal, and whether they were getting, how much, when they were cutting stone, when they had to brush the ceiling and brush the floor, they were on wages. So you had to write down how much time they were on wages, right? And it's a complicated algorithm sum that the people upstairs. Now this runs from Friday to Thursday. So the people upstairs would have used this every day, worked out how much every man was worth every day, and then they were paid Friday afternoon. They all had to go to the mine office, the other side of the hospital, and get their black tin with their slip in it. And the next thing he was the first point of call for first aid. So, and there were small accidents. There were some big accidents, but there were small accidents here all the time. People splitting their hands. Lumps of rock falling on them, not necessarily hurting them. Over the 50 years, there was about 87 people killed. About 2/3 of them were underground accidents. Some of them died some days later. Some of them were runaway skips. Skips had come off the rope and run, especially empty skips had come off the rope and run over people. But in terms of that, while it sounds a lot of people, that's incredibly, compared to English conditions, that's incredibly safe. All right, we're going to walk up here and have a look at what a decent lump of coal seam looks like.
We're gonna see the coals now. We're gonna see coal. Dinupa, where are you going? To see coal.
Huh?
You're gonna see coal?
Coal.
Yeah. Okay, stand up here. We'll take a photo of you. Go check your smile. Go, smile. Here, look this side.
See the blue?
Ta-da!